how often should you actually check in with clients? Hi guys, my name is Deepak Shukla. I'm the founder at the Pearl Lemon Group. We're a business growth and development agency based in the UK, USA, as well as serving clients worldwide. And here today, in day number 50, we're here to talk about how often you should actually check in with clients. But before we get into it, if you are looking for support with your communication, whether internally or with your clients, please do reach out to us. And also, click the link in the description below to get access to 7 additional strategies not shared in this training. So there you have it. Right. So when it comes to checking in with clients, I think that there's a couple of rules that make sense here. So number one, let's do a list. So number one, it depends how frequent changes happen with the campaign. So for example, on one side of our business, we do search engine optimization, so a daily check-in isn't always necessary. But on another side of the business, we do lead generation where we have daily check-ins. So that's an example. So in SEO, we do once to twice a week. In lead generation, it can often be every day. So it depends upon how frequent changes happen in the campaign. That's the first thing. I'd say a general rule of thumb, because it's not just about them responding, it's about you reaching out. So reaching out, and that's a key distinction. Regardless of what happens to the client, you reaching out is always handy. So once per week or more, as a rule of thumb, is important. Okay, so that is the criteria I would stick to, unless your client says otherwise. Okay, so unless your client says otherwise, that's a criteria that I would stick to. Now, we on the SEO side of the business do something called Friday follow-ups. Now, there's a couple of things to consider. So checking in is separate to general communication, to deliverable communication, shall we say. So checking in once a week or more is powerful, and it's really just, once a week can be fine, well and good enough in many cases, and you can continue that until you sense that maybe that you're not getting much response. Okay, that you're getting either no response or not much response, but you should always begin. So always, yeah, so what I guess I mean to say, once or more at the start of the campaign. So at the beginning of the campaign, people are typically paid. There's probably excitement, high expectation. So you want to communicate more in the early stages to give the client the necessary reassurance, as well as just checking in with them. We do Friday follow-ups where it will be a round robin of maybe a call, email, or text to get through to the appropriate person. And maintaining that level of dialogue is powerful, because you find out a lot of things outside of just the objective of the campaign. You find out about the client's wider business. They begin to discuss and disclose things with you more, and potentially even vice versa as to what's happening with you and the company in general at that time. So there's so much power in just regularly checking in with clients. Now, of course, number one depends how frequent changes happen in the campaign. This is also for projects that are quite extended. I would always advocate anyway that once, and the frequency at max, I think, is ultimately once, a minimum. Sorry, the frequency at minimum is really once a week. But then outside of that, I think that there's scope to potentially do more. And by the way, check-ins can be, hey Frank, just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. And this is where the personal element comes in, the how to win friends and influence people stuff, that knowing a little bit about their personal life, knowing about what's happening with them professionally outside of the job that you've got on together. Because if all you can talk about is the work that you're doing together, it probably means you don't have a very good relationship, if I'm being honest. That becomes a problem as soon as there's a problem with the campaign, because we all favor those who we get on with well versus those who the relationship feels just a touch more transactional, and then it doesn't cause us any emotional distress to lose that person from our life, if you will. So definitely recognizing that check-ins aren't necessarily about the campaign. They might be about the campaign 50% of the time, but it's a how's it going? Can I help? And then a little bit of chit chat, and it will serve you well if you're able to do that once a week or more. Now there's balance. You need to know when it's too much, but that's not what we're discussing or dealing with here. This is about making your clients feel happy and really cared for by their service provider, which in that case is you or us, and therefore you want to check in regularly just to show that, hey, I'm around, I care, and they care that you care, and that's the most important thing because it's almost like duty of care. So there you have it, guys. That is how often you should check in with clients, and please do like, comment, as well as hit the ding red subscribe button if you're enjoying these videos. Thank you so much.